The legend of Dr. Maiwada, Galadima J.P., the immortal king of Adara. In the lush and rolling hills of southern Kaduna, there existed a proud and noble tribe known as the Adara. For centuries, the Adara people thrived in unity and resilience, their culture rich with songs of valor and justice. Among them ruled a wise and compassionate king, Dr. Maiwada, Galadima J.P., a leader who was as much a scholar as he was a warrior at heart. Dr. Maiwada Galadima was revered not just as a king, but as a father to his people. His wisdom bridged the ancient traditions of the Adara with the modern world, earning him the title, the Light of Adara. Under his reign, the Adara people flourished, their lands fertile, their culture celebrated, and their bonds with neighboring tribes strengthened. But in the shadows, forces of greed and lawlessness conspired to extinguish that light. The shadow of betrayal. One ominous evening, while returning from a journey to mediate peace among neighboring tribes, Dr. Maiwada Galadima's convoy was ambushed by a ruthless group of kidnappers. These men, driven by greed and a desire to destabilize the kingdom, seized the king and his retinue. The news of the king's capture sent shockwaves across Adara lands. His people, devastated, gathered to pool the demanded ransom, a sum so large it would drain the kingdom's coffers. Despite the economic toll, the Adara people would do anything to secure their beloved king's release. After days of negotiation, the ransom was paid in full. The kidnappers promised to release the king at an agreed location, but in an act of cold-hearted betrayal, they struck him down before fleeing into the wilderness. The king's final words. It is said that in his final moments, Dr. Maiwada Galadima stood with dignity. To his captors, he declared, "You may take my body, but you will never conquer my spirit. The Adara people will rise from this tragedy stronger than ever, for I am not just a man. I am the voice of my ancestors, and I will live in the hearts of my people forever." As the king's life ebbed away, the skies above southern Kaduna turned dark, and a heavy rain fell. The storm seemed to mourn the loss of the great king, the spirit of Adara. The news of Dr. Maiwada Galadima's death ignited a fire in the hearts of the Adara people. His memory became a rallying cry for justice, unity, and resilience. Under the leadership of his council and the elders, the Adara organized themselves to protect their lands and preserve their culture. Legend holds that Dr. Maiwada Galadima's spirit did not rest. His people believe that his soul became one with the hills and rivers of Adara land, forever watching over them. On stormy nights, the elders say you can hear his voice in the wind, urging his people to remain steadfast. A legacy eternal. To honor their fallen king, the Adara built a great memorial at the heart of their land, a symbol of unity and resilience. His story is passed down through generations, a tale of sacrifice, betrayal, and undying love for one's people. Today, Dr. Maiwada Galadima J.P. is remembered not as a victim, but as a symbol of strength and courage. His legacy continues to inspire not just the Adara, but all who hear his story. A reminder that even in the face of darkness, the light of a true leader can never be extinguished.